Hello everyone! Today we are talking fashion. As trade tensions grow between Europe and the US, the fashion industry is getting caught in the middle, with new protectionist policies putting the long-standing reputation of Made in Europe at risk. Europe's fashion capitals, namely Milan, Paris and London, have built their fame on craftsmanship and heritage. But today, a new challenge threatens their golden reputation. A 20% US tariff on European textile and apparel now effectively adds 1.5 billion euros onto the roughly 7.5 billion euros in goods that Europe ships across the Atlantic each year. To shield margins, some companies, most notably Hermès, have already begun passing these added costs directly to their American consumers, raising US retail prices by as much as 8% on coveted handbags and scarves in April 2025. For example, with a classic $10,000 bag now flirting with an $11K tag before tax, shoppers face not only sticker shock, but a narrowing of choice as brands scale back US inventories. The challenge came at a moment when the global luxury sector's recovery was already in decline. For example, McKinsey has forecasted an annual growth for global luxury fashion sector between 1 and 3% from 2024 to 2027, well below the 5% growth pace recorded from 2019 to 2023, due to the slowing demand in the US and China, which was happening due to the global COVID pandemic and now due to the rising cost of living. US consumers alone accounted for about 21% of worldwide luxury revenues in 2024, while China represented roughly 22-24% of global consumption the year before, underscoring the high stakes on both sides of the Pacific. In Washington, fashion's woes haven't gone unnoticed. Some lawmakers, especially in states with major retail hubs such as New York and California, have quietly expressed concern that the Trump administration's blanket tariffs are already backfiring. Just recently, most of Cartier and Hermès boutique in New York have faced low stock level, leaving consumers hanging to wait for new products. However, under the current America First trade doctrine, the White House remains committed to using tariffs as strategic leverage, not just in response to European carbon taxes or digital service levies, but as a negotiating tool. For Trump team, luxury handbags are not cultural treasures, they are bargaining chips. On the European side, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni is among the European heads of states that are the most concerned. If tariffs against luxury products are officially imposed, Italy could lose up to 0.5% of its annual growth. The message from the White House to European leaders was clear. Unless Brussels backs off its climate-related tariffs and digital tax proposals, the luxury sector will remain under pressure. The broader power play pits Europe's precaution-driven, regulation-heavy model against the transactional, tit-for-tat mindset of US policy. If Brussels retaliates with tariffs of its own, potentially targeting US denim, sportswear, or even agricultural goods, the market could be overrun by lower-cost Asian or Latin American imports. Such a flood would destroy small ateliers in Milan, Lyon, Porto, which already are facing difficulty to sell in the US. Partially, this difficulty is due to the restrictions imposed by the customs control to air post companies. Just during Easter holidays, DHL was the first postal air company to announce the stop of B2C import of products with a value more than 800 euros to the US. Compounding these pressures, China's own tariffs against US goods stand at 125%, far below America's hike up to 245% on Chinese imports. Yet, the constant tariff volley has prompted some Chinese manufacturers to market knockoffs directly to US consumers through TikTok. Platforms such as DHgate have surged to the number 2 spot on the US App Store, offering duplicates of Birkin bags and Lululemon leggings at a fraction of the price, further diluting US aura and exposing American buyers to counterfeit risk. The same campaign is now starting to circulate on European social networks, leaving consumers exposed to counterfeit products and harming luxury brands' reputation. As the diplomatic clock ticks down, Europe faces stark choices. It can accelerate trade negotiations, streamline relief measures for vulnerable brands, and ramp up investment in digital-first marketing to cultivate new markets across Asia and the Middle East, or it can allow its artisanal heritage to be eroded by less regulated competitors. On the American side, consumers and retailers alike must decide whether to absorb higher prices or pressure lawmakers for change. And as the 2024 election aftermath unfolds, clashes on the fashion front line may well become part of the broader story of how trade, identity, and influence play out in shifting global order.